talking about How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. You don't have to be perfect for people to like you. Dale sums up the good and bad news of it for us. People are not interested in you. They are not interested in me. They are interested in themselves morning, noon, and after dinner. The key to having people like you has very little to do with you and everything to do with them. People like us for the way we make them feel about themselves, which of course we can't control, but we can influence it. If when people are with you, they feel understood, appreciated, and special or important, they will like you. And if they feel misunderstood, taken advantage of, and insignificant, they won't like you. It's pretty simple. So you can stop trying to be perfect now. Seriously, we all know that super successful guy or gal who always looks perfectly put together and they always say all the right things. It's like they're magical. He found the gold at the end of the rainbow and she possesses unicorn-like holiness. Except for being around them makes you feel like this insecure toilet cat. Maybe being around them highlights your insecurities, or maybe it's because they just aren't very genuine. Either way, their awesomeness doesn't make you like them, so perfection isn't the answer. Here are 3 tips that will encourage people to like you. The first one is a no-brainer. Remember their name and smile. It always feels good when you see someone and you can tell by their face they're delighted to see you. You know you absolutely love that waitress or customer service rep that always remembers your name. It makes you feel special, and with a little effort, you can do the same for others. But Katie, I suck at remembering people's names. That's because you're distracting yourself, trying to get them to like you. Stop it. Instead, focus on what you like about them, and remembering their name will be easy. The next tip is listen more, talk less. Dale said, talk to people about themselves and they will listen for hours. He also said, to be interesting, be interested. Ask people questions and be sincerely interested in their lives. But you have to actually listen. If they say they just got back from a trip to see colleges with their daughter, and then a little while later in the conversation you ask them if they have kids, you just made them feel insignificant and like you don't actually care, you're just playing nice. You have to actually care and listen for this to be effective. Now, the third tip is to talk in terms of their interest. Dale uses a fishing example. When you go fishing, you don't put what you want out there on the line. You're not out there like, let me just put some candy and burgers on this here hook. All right, now that should do it. No, you think about what the fish wants and what attracts him. You put some worms on there. If you're always talking about what you know, you're missing an opportunity to learn about what other people know. So talk less and listen more. Start making learning from others your intention, and you will benefit not only from your increased knowledge, but also by talking about other people's interests, you will gain their goodwill towards you. But what about when we disagree or something heated happens? Dale teaches us how to resolve the issues without compromising our relationships. He wrote, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. So often we get into arguments to showcase our intelligence or win the other person over to our way of thinking. But we end up with anger and resentment. Very rarely does a heated argument turn into a unanimous agreement. Only when both parties have calmed down and decided to see things from the other person's perspective do arguments dissolve. Also, criticism just doesn't work. Dale says criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes him strive to justify himself. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's precious pride, hurts his sense of importance, and arouses resentment. Before we speak, we need to understand our own intentions. Are you arguing or criticizing to demonstrate your authority, prove that you're right, or feel better about yourself? Because if you're genuinely trying to correct someone else's mistake, there is a better way. Which criticism would you respond to better? Joe, you messed up all this paperwork. It's complete garbage, and now it needs to be redone. Or, Joe, thanks for working so hard on this paperwork. It took me a while to get the hang of it. Now, I notice you have some mistakes that need to be corrected. Can you get this redone today? Now, instead of criticizing, you can also ask questions and let people come to their own conclusions. Hey, Joe, will you take a look at this paperwork again? Seems to me like there's something off about the calculations. Give Joe the opportunity to correct his own mistakes. Simply establishing your intention for the criticism or argument and then beginning in a friendly way makes everyone's life easier and the other person more receptive. Now, the next tip is basic, but it's a complete game changer. Your number one job is to understand the other party's point of view. Let's just say that you wanted the one and only pumpkin, but somebody else also wanted it. So you guys start bidding up the price until the other person asks the seemingly stupid question, well, what do you want to do with it anyways? They just wanted to use the seeds, and you just wanted to make a jack-o'-lantern. Guess what? Problem solved. Now, obviously, all situations aren't as cut and dry equal as the pumpkin solution, but when you understand what the other party wants, you are better able to find a win-win solution for both of you. Henry Ford said, if there is any one secret to success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. And the third tip is once you clearly understand the other person's angle, you're going to be able to find points of agreement. So you want to look at all the points of agreement that you guys share. And then once you're aware of that, you can also talk about each party's end goal and come up with a creative solution that will serve both parties as best as possible. Let's end today with a quote from Dale. The world is full of people who are grabbing and self-seeking, so the rare individual who unselfishly tries to serve others has an enormous advantage. Thank you so much for joining me. Please check out the actualization worksheet. We go over all of this topic of criticism with you, and I look forward to the next time you make it a great day.